Welcome back to the Church of King David. I am your servant, Adaptedon Harris, and in this video, we're going to talk about the subject of these celebrities faking their deaths and then beginning to play different people in the public eye, sometimes not in the public eye. Like in case in point with Prince, did he fake his death? To take what we're going to read out of the book, out of the sealed portion, with what is called eternal youthfulness, something that Satan offers to those who follow him. And so, according to the sealed portion, Satan gives these individuals eternal youthfulness so that they can continue to carry out his plan. Now, after I read those scriptures, I'm going to show you my example that Prince is still alive. He is one of these individuals that is following behind this plan, and he has, in fact, received eternal youthfulness. And then after that, I'm going to play some videos from a guy named Tyler, who is on YouTube, who seems to have a knack for spotting these celebrities when they fake their deaths and they begin playing different people after they announce that this individual has died. So like in the case of Prince, Prince died in 2016. Okay, so let me prove that. Let's prove what year Prince died. And then we're going to prove to you that Prince is in fact one of these individuals that have taken Satan's serum in order to receive eternal youthfulness. Because when they take this serum, see, Prince died April 21st, 2016. Okay. But if we come here to this, to the current.org, I think this website is out of Minneapolis. But if you can see here, September 21st, right? See, they're saying that Prince died April 21st, but this comes out September 21st, right? 2017. Over a year later, when they make this post here saying with New Power Soul, Prince's brother, and they like to say that these individuals are there, that these people that they pop up, they like to say that that's their brother because they're going to look similar, right? But they're going to say Prince's brother is bringing Paisley Park Studios back to life. So we're going to prove that this individual that's in this photo is actually Prince. All right, the person that played the character of Prince. We have no idea what these people's names are, but we knew him as Prince. And so that this, in fact, this person in this photo is Prince. And we're going to prove it to you without a shadow of a doubt. And Tyler is going to prove to you that this is going on, and other people are going to prove to you how they staged their deaths. And so without further ado, let me just jump right into it. Let me go to the sealed portion. And this is chapter 87. And I'm going to read some of it for you. All right, so that you can begin to understand what is going on in the latter days. So I'm going to read verse 11 for you, where it says, "And the Father knoweth all the eternal laws, and he shall allow Satan to introduce some of these laws into the world, so that we might see the effects of these laws upon us in unrighteousness." Or, in other words, so that we might see the effects when there exist wicked people who follow the plan of Lucifer and who can live forever. So this is already happening, y'all. And for those of you who don't believe it, we're going to prove it to you. Okay, so like I said, Prince died in 2016, April 21st, 2016. This photo that I'm going to use to prove that this is Prince came out after he died, September 21st, 2017. So he cannot, if they said he died and they made that announcement that he died, then we should not be able to prove that this is Prince if he's dead or cremated, right? If he's in the ground or if he's cremated, whatever, right? We should not be able to show you that this is, in fact, is Prince. So let me go back to the sealed book here, verse 12. And it says, and the technology that ye shall stop the aging process of your flesh. But this aging process is not the only way that death shall come upon you in the latter days. So it's saying that even if these celebrities, politicians, or the elites take this serum, that there are ways that they can still die regardless, okay? But this aging process is not the only way that death shall come upon you in the latter days, for ye shall still die from sickness and from pestilence and from murder, which is perpetuated by the hand of another, and also by your wars or by accidents, which shall be caused because of the technology that Satan hath introduced to you. All right, so it goes on to say, and so it shall be that ye shall develop the ability to live forever young in the flesh. And if ye learn to obey the laws of nature that perpetuated the continual regeneration of the flesh. So it's saying that they do this over and over and over and over and over and over again. All right. The continual regeneration of the flesh. Then ye shall also live forever without sickness and pestilence among you. Nevertheless, these laws of nature ye shall know, but ye shall not live by them, choosing instead to enjoy the temporary joy that the blessings of Satan shall bring you. And because ye shall live in this state of eternal youth, as ye shall call it, ye shall not have children. You see? So this is, now, if you notice, this is why they're saying among, especially white people, infertility is at an all-time high, because a lot of these people are taking this eternal youthfulness. If you live forever, you're not worried about having kids. That's not a concern of yours, because you are living forever. So I think that this is spot on. Ye shall not have kids, and shall use the power of creation and the blessing that comes with this power for your own selfish pleasures, which shall be accentuated by the temporary joy and happiness that Satan shall bless you with, because ye follow his plan. And in the day that ye shall be given the knowledge and the power of these things by Satan, there shall be great division among you, even a great gulf between those of you that are rich and those of you that are poor. All right. And the rich shall begin to think highly of themselves, and shall make it a law among them that the poor shall not have the power to live upon the earth with eternal youth, except it be those who are the servants of the rich, and bring them the riches that they desire. And it shall come to pass that the rich shall reserve the right and the power of the regeneration of the flesh for themselves. And this they shall do because they shall place an exceedingly great monetary value upon this power, which the poor and their want shall not be able to afford. And the poor shall rise up against the rich and complain unto them that they should also have this power. Now, this sticks out to me as being what James is talking about in James chapter 5 in the King James, when he says, "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rest of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasures together for the last days. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them have reaped, of them which have reaped, are entered into the ears of the Lord a Sabbath oath." Okay, so I think that these two things go together, because the poor are going to rise up against the rich, because they are going to start to notice, the poor are going to start to notice that the rich have this technology to keep themselves young. So I think that James, what he is talking about here, that the rich will heap together treasures for the last days. Why? Because they're going to have to pay the price to these fallen angels in order to get this technology from Satan. Now let's prove that by going to the sealed book of Mormons, or Moroni, as it should be called. And this is chapter 4. And let me read what it says here, because this is all playing out right here in front of our eyes with this whole thing with Three-Eyed Atlas and the signal coming from deep space and all of that. But let's listen and put it all together, put everything together here. All right, so it says, "Now, with the purpose of the people of the covenant to no longer be deceived." Right? The people of the covenant are black people. We are the children of Israel. We are the real Jews. We are the real Israelites. And so now that we are no longer being deceived, when in the last days, ye Enoch, when in the last days, ye before you Enoch, return with your city to this land, the watchers which were driven out to the vicinity of earth will send signs to the children of men. So this is what they're talking about with Three-Eyed Atlas. And I think it's back in the 70s when they said that they received that signal, which they call the wow signal. And so now they believe that the area of the solar system where Three-Eyed Atlas was coming from, or has come from, is the same direction that signal. So they are saying that, did the signal come from Three-Eyed Atlas? So this is what this is all about. So let me read this again. And it says, the watchers, which are the fallen angels who are driven out to the vicinity of earth, will send signs to the children of men with the promise of ending their diseases. Now, again, if you can find that commercial of Donald Trump saying he's going to end cancer by some year, I believe it's 2029. So this has already started, y'all. Okay. And then it says their religions and their false prophets and the scriptures and their false messages, and provide them with an alliance, and thus with the support of Satan, the ruler of the world. Right? This is again, okay? This is important. So Satan is going to make a deal with the fallen, right? And that they are going to enslave you again. But the ones that are the humans that are supporting these fallen angels are going to receive eternal youth, right? Because they have to, because they got to keep serving. So as they age, they dial them back, right? And if they're famous, they'll say, okay, like Prince, he died, but he didn't die. He just took the serum and they dialed his age back, and he becomes somebody different in society. And this is all that's happening. So it says the ruler of the world, they will again come to be among you at the invitation of the rulers of the earth, and gradually they will enslave the sons of men again. So this is what we're seeing here. All of these wars, all of this conflict is to begin to enslave you. And part of that enslavement is the digital ID. Another way of saying ID is mark. Mark is another way of saying identification. So you're in the midst of all of this. All of these things are happening, and you got to take it seriously, right? We can see at the Christian churches, they're not taking it seriously. They're still having gospel concerts and dressing up. Okay. But it says here in 53, it says, except in Zion, where my only begotten will have coated his elect of power from on high to overcome the forces of the enemy and to rescue those who are loyal to the Most High. So I want you to understand the strategy that they're using. They are, the war against the children of Israel has begun. They have already declared war by going into Venezuela, by going into Mexico, by going into South America in general, and in the cities within the U.S. So they have already declared that they have the 100% intent to enslave the sons of men again. And they're going to do it with this digital ID and then some other things. Okay. And so you got to understand that all of this goes together, from the eternal youth that Satan has offered them to the poor being deemed not worthy to live. So they're going to give you a certain amount of time that you're going to live. And then on that date, you're going to be gone. You're just not going to die a natural death. That's what's coming. That's what's coming. Okay. Now, let me go back to prove to you that this, without a shadow of doubt, is Prince. And I'm going to go to Photoshop. And I started out, y'all, with that photo. So I downloaded it and I uploaded it here in Photoshop. So this is that same photo from the article. And then I cut out his face here, right? So I cut out the right side of his face, this person's face that they're claiming is Prince's brother. And then what I did was I came here and the minute I saw this face here, right, it reminded me of this Prince on this album cover. And so if I take this face and we just move it over to here, put it there. Now remember, in this photo, his head is leaning back, so it's not going to match up, because here in this, I believe it's Parade album cover, he's upright, okay? But here the face is leaning back a little bit, so the mouth and everything is going to lean out. But if I put it there, you can see it's Prince, okay? But I didn't stop there. This is Prince from the early 80s, maybe late 70s. It's still lining up here, right? The mouth, the nose, everything is lined up. But I didn't stop there. I came to this photo. This stuck out to me. This is a t-shirt from his concert. And notice how the left eye is kind of drooping. And that kind of happens, I think, in this process until it comes back up. Because if we go back, if I take this back to the Parade and I try to match it up, if I try to match it up here, the lips, everything match, right? I mean, that's almost spot on. But you notice that the eyes will not line up perfectly. And I thought that was kind of odd, that t-shirt always stood out to me where the eyes are just seem like they're off from each other. This one is hanging a little lower than this one. And I think they have to begin to take this serum early, okay? And then I came to this picture because Prince usually takes photos with his head leaning forward. But here he's standing next to, I believe, Sheila E. And his head is leaning against the wall. And so I brought the picture over. And I'm going to blow this picture up. Because you see his nose, right? If you go back to this original photo of them claiming that this is Prince's brother, his nose looks a certain way from this angle, that it doesn't look like that if Prince has his head leaning forward. So I think that this was done on purpose so that you would see it. If you had eyes to see, if you were able to discern it. So if we take this so-called Prince's brother photo and we bring it in, and if I just turn it, and put everything the way it should be, you cannot tell me that that's not Prince. Is that not Prince? The nose, the mouth, everything lines up. The chin, everything is perfect. So, without a shadow of doubt, that this man that they claim to be Prince's brother, almost a year and a half after he so-called died in April of 2016, his face matches Prince to the T. Prince didn't have a twin. Okay, and the other brother that they claiming to be his brother his head is not shaped like this. This is the same individual, from the jaw to the lips to the nose to the eyes. The eyes are the window to the soul, to the eyebrows. And Prince always played around with his eyebrows and, his facial hairs to give himself a different image. But y'all can see that this is Prince. 100%. So with that being said, let's check out Tyler and what he has to say.
Andrew Tate, Taylor Swift. I wonder why she's covering one eye. Andrew Tate, Taylor Swift. Ooh, exposed. Andrew Tate, Anton LaVey. Anton LaVey, Anton LaVey's daughter. Anton LaVey's daughter, Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift, Anton LaVey's daughter. Anton LaVey's daughter, Taylor Swift. Down to the exact eye angle and eyebrow angle. And I know what you're thinking, but it's not that. And it's definitely not clones, people. Clones don't exist, they just told you they do, so you don't realize something about these people. That's why they cloned a sheep first, to say the sheeple will believe anything we shove down their throat with Jurassic Park, with Multiplicity, with they cloned Tyrone, with the Clone Wars. It's propaganda. And this is anything but propaganda. No, this is something entirely different. So different that you won't believe it. Notice how he matches perfectly that bald skull, those eyebrows, the exact same beard and mustache. You know why? Do you want to know why? Can you handle why? I don't think you can handle why. And even if you could handle it, I don't think you're going to believe it. Even after I show you the exact same 2 marks here and 2 marks here on 2 supposedly different people. You know why? You want to know why they're the exact same? Because it's the same person. It's not a clone. It's not replicas. It's not reincarnation. It's him after he has guzzled something that rhymes with abrenobrome. Abrenobrome? I used to think that maybe he was his son, but it's not the same person. And I used to think maybe she was her daughter, but it's not. It's the same person. They can literally, with med bends and abrenobrome and healing frequencies, they can live a lot longer than you and me. And maybe she actually is his daughter, which would mean she is his daughter. And you know what they love? They love duality. So you know what they do if they're actually father and son or daughter? You know what they do? They do duality of that. And what's more duality than him exposing her as whatever it was? A boy, a Satanist, I don't know. I don't know what it was, because I don't care. I didn't look. But what I'm telling you is that these people aren't who you think. If they're even people, they're vampires. And I don't know if they're, well, I'm doing a great video on my speculation of how this happens, other than the abrenobrome, because there's something else that's involved. And I'm gonna probably only put it in my subscriber area because it's a lot. It's a lot. This video is a lot, but the one I'm gonna do is a lot. Oh, and I almost forgot to show you one more thing. So this guy, Anton, he loves Baphomet. That's Baphomet. Do you know Baphomet? It's what Satan worshipers worship other than the devil, Satan, Lucifer. Let me show you something. I want to see if you notice. Here's Baphomet's face, and I want to see if you notice something. Do you see his face right there too? Right? Kind of looks like the same face. Wouldn't you say? Same face. I mean, I fade in and out. You want to see what this one's from? I'm going to show you what that one's from. Let me zoom out. Oh, and it even looks like it bigger here. So like that whole thing, this whole thing, right here, gray, right here, gray, looks like his face. And then the horns look like the horns, right? Same. Well, you want to see what this is from? Let's pull out. Let's pull out. Okay, now let's flip it. Let's flip it. Okay, flip it. Oh, that's Andrew Tate's logo. It's his logo. I knew what I'd find before I even looked. It's his logo. And I knew that because they tell us. They tell us. You just gotta be paying attention and stop gobbling up their nonsense. They tell us. Right there. They tell us. But of course, all this for entertainment purposes. I'm sure that's a coincidence. So are these. And him having that in his logo with just a little bit of like flipping and manipulation. That was total coincidence, even though I knew I'd find it before I found it. Yeah, and they're just doppelgangers. She definitely didn't guzzle Brina Brome for months and months and months to make her complexion and skin much, much younger and preserve her life, kind of like vampires do. And kind of like it says right here. They drink the red stuff from the young to maintain their immortality and youthfulness, a concept mirrored in recent studies that show factors in can rejuvenate aging tissue. In real life. Entertainment only, people. Come on. This is all for funs and laughs and shits and gigs. Entertainment only. But seriously, they're vampires. Vampires aren't real, and Christian Bale definitely isn't one, and they're definitely not trying to tell us anything with the blood all over his face. Nah, that's ridiculous. But we'll get back to Christian, in a second. But first, I gotta show you something. You see, I was watching this documentary on John Candy to see if there was any truth in plain sight about him being Luke Combs. You know, Luke, the country singer who just happens to have the exact same nostrils and beard and mustache, and his name is one of the gospel names, and his name is one of the gospel names, and his name is Combs, and his name is Candy, and they're both sweet. You know, those guys. Well, I was looking for something there, but I saw something completely different. I saw a scene with John Candy and Egon, aka Harold Ramis, and I couldn't help but recognize this smile right there. It just looked so familiar to me, like I had seen it somewhere before. Like I had seen it so many times before, because my favorite movie that I've seen dozens of times used to be Batman Begins, starring Christian Bale. And I'm what they call a super recognizer. I recognize facial features like that. And I knew it right away. I knew that I caught another blood-sucking vampire. You know, the ones that drink a Brina Brome and also put blood on their face to rejuvenate their skin. Kind of like they're disclosing to us with Kris Jenner. That's not plastic surgery, that's... But anyway, back to Christian, aka Egon, aka Harold Ramis. You see, I could even recognize those lips because Christian Bale's got some pretty unique lips. Is that weird? Is that weird? I mean, he just does. They're just noticeable. And hey, it almost looks like they're wearing the same headphones, and he's holding an axe while he's holding a proton accelerator. And boy, they sure have similar serious stares and similar hairline and chin structure. I mean, give him a shave and put those glasses on and it could be the same person. But if you're still skeptical, just give me another minute while we look at the symmetry of their faces. And don't worry, I got something coming for you. Kind of like how I do right here with a scar on their chin that seems to, and I'll get closer so you can see, it seems to just match up perfectly right there. Would you look at that? Perfect scar placement. Wow, what a coincidence. And their faces match, and their noses even match. If you just decrease the size of this big old schnoz to that schnoz, it's the exact same shape. Exact same. Just smaller. Do you want to see something? Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? Let's start you small. Small and right on their neck. Right there. That's not it by a long shot. And even these aren't it by a long shot, where we have 1 and 1 and 2 and 2. We're just getting warmed up. Not even close to giving you the best one yet, because, well, 1 or 2 or 3 could be coincidence. I got something for you. And this isn't even it, but I'm still gonna show you anyway how they both seem to have a scar right there. Right there, right there, right there. And again, just to show you who it belongs to, American Psycho and Egon Spengler with the same exact lips. And what have I shown you already? 4? I think I've shown 4. Now why don't we take a look at this scar right there? Almost looks like a Batman symbol upside down. Right there. And right there. The exact scar in the exact same place on this flipping vampire. Now let's scroll out and let's scroll back in. Kind of looks like a similar mark right there and there in the exact same spots. But here's maybe my favorite part of all of it. If Egon Spengler is Bruce Wayne, don't you think that Batman might want to take some of his friends with him for a movie? Do you know who Harold Ramis was good buddies with? John Belushi. Yeah, they were good buddies. He helped write Animal House. He was Bluto in Animal House. Well, did you ever see The Dark Knight Rises? You know, the one with Bane. You know, Bane, played by Tom Hardy. You know, Bane, played by Tom Hardy. Hey, they were sure chummy in that movie. Kind of chummy like Harold Ramis and John Belushi were. You ever see the video I did on Tom Hardy and who he used to be? No, you never saw that one? You never saw that one? Well, you should maybe go check it out. Maybe really go check it out. And I made this before I realized that vampires were real. But of course, all this for entertainment purposes. I'm sure when I saw that and recognized it immediately as him and all their facial features and all their hairline and 8 different facial markings line up, it's just pure coincidence, people. Just like I don't think they were really trying to tell us anything in this movie, American Psycho. Just like I don't think they were trying to tell us anything with them wearing the exact same headphones and him wielding an axe and him wielding a proton accelerator. And their lips and nose being the exact same style and shape. And me saying he is him and him is him is just a coincidence that they happen to be in the same movie together. Oh, I forgot to show you something. Well, do you remember this scene from The Dark Knight Rises where Bane smacks him on the head from behind and he falls? Well, here's a scene from Chicago Improv where Tom Hardy, aka John Belushi, happens to smack Christian Bale, Batman, on the head and he falls down. That's mockery. That's them laughing at you saying, these idiots couldn't even figure it out if it was put right under their nose. Well, guess what? But like I said, entertainment only, people. I don't really think that these are minions of the fallen angels who drank gold juice and turned into half vampires. Kind of like the movies tell us. Entertainment only.
Okay, so now let's go to Flat Out Truth Channel and see how they fake their deaths.
Good evening, everyone. I know a lot of you have watched a few minutes of this video when I posted it the first time and then I deleted it. Even though it had 24,000 views, I didn't want to delete it, but I don't care about the views. That's not me. I don't care about the views. Okay, so now I'm going to do it the right way, okay? There's a lot of things that I didn't add to the video I should have. I tried to rush it, do it quickly, just got off of work, was tired, but guess what? I'm here to redo it, okay? So this is the redo. This is the re-upload, whatever you want to call it. Now, let me say this in the beginning, okay? This is my theory. This is not disinformation. This is not a lie. This is not me trying to trick you. This is what I believe. This is my idea. That's what a theory is, an idea of how something happened. Doesn't mean I'm lying to you or trying to give you disinformation, okay? So let's get that straight from the beginning. Okay, now let's move on with it. Now, I'm sure all of you have noticed online that a lot of people are talking about why are these people allowed to be in this canopy? Why isn't this marked off and taped off as a crime scene? And why is this guy in the white shirt taking the most very important camera down? What you think is the most very important camera there? Why is he taking it down? Well, here's why. Because it's not a crime scene. A crime didn't take place here, and that's not a camera. Now, before I tell you what it is, I want you to get a real good look at it as he's taking it down. Anybody figure out what it is yet? Okay, here's what it is. It's called a hologram projector. And if you don't believe me, you can go look them up online. And they're not cheap. They're not cheap. Usually 20 to 60, 70, $80,000 for these things. And they come in different varieties. Now, Hollywood calls them hologram stage projectors. Now, you see how Charlie's little tent there is a perfect square? And as you can tell, it's 10 foot squared, 10 foot all the way around on each square, and it's about 9 foot tall. That's because it has to be for the projection to work. Now, let's explain.
For smaller spaces, the projectors can be configured with mirrors to elongate the projection path and maintain picture integrity. Eyeliner displays ideally require a minimum footprint of 10 feet square and a height of 9 feet to show full-size human figures. What you are seeing is a reflected image which is so true and realistic to the original, it has become known as a virtual image. Many people perceive what they are seeing now as a 3D hologram. In fact, it is a 21st century take on a mid-19th century visual effect known as Pepper's Ghost, showing now on the relay screens. Thanks in part to the amazing optical properties of the eyeliner foil, combined with the light and picture output of Christie Digital high-definition projectors, the image has depth and opacity that actually supersedes the scale and definition of traditional 3D holograms.
Like I said before, 10 foot squared, 9 foot tall. This canopy was made this size for a purpose, because it is a hologram stage projection that you guys were watching. Now, don't get me wrong, there are different types of holograms, okay? I'm just showing you one from like 7 years ago, the technology 7 years ago. Now, let me show you some different technology on bigger stages. Now, I'm gonna skip through a lot of this video due to copyright infringement. And also, I don't want this video to be 30 minutes long. I just want to get to the point. I want you to understand how this can be done, okay? If you want to watch the full version of these hologram videos, I'll leave the links in the comments so you don't think you're being deceived, okay? Now let's move on.
These performers are holograms.
Every series, we take one step closer to achieving all of the sci-fi dreams.
It's pretty cool. You'll never have to miss a gig again. The gig can come to you.
We traveled to Paris to meet Ian O'Connell, director of the company that put this show on.
I recall we were being asked to produce a show from London to Florida where the interaction between the musicians and the audience would be as natural as two people being in the same room. And for all of us, it was an experience that we'll never forget.
So how do they beam this band in live?
It's incredible that this really is a remote live gig. The signal from London takes less than 1/3 of a second to go all the way around the world and be projected as a hologram on the stage in the US. As well as the hologram making it feel like the band are actually in the room with the audience, the band can see the audience and actually interact and respond to what they're doing.
This is a whole new take on live music. But how are the images so good that it looks like the band are really on stage?
They look so lifelike because of the angle of the light and the reflective material called mylar that creates this holographic effect.
The mylar screen is semi-transparent. The reflective surface reflects the images where the light falls on it, but where the light doesn't fall on it, the audience can see through it. So it looks like there's a person standing on the stage and that there's no screen at all.
The projector receives the video signal and projects it down from the ceiling.
What I really love about this is that you get the effect of a 3D hologram without those stupid glasses.
I still believe we've only scratched the surface with this technology. I think we will see pop-up holograms everywhere.
That's it, the holograms are here. We're officially in the future.
Now, let me show you how good Hollywood's hologram projection stages can pull this off and make you think you're watching somebody who's there who's not really there.
I love being together, although, are we really together? Are we all together in this room?
Are we? I feel like we're connected in some way, but maybe.
For anyone watching, Can you guess which one of us isn't really here? Welcome back!
I'm the one in Los Angeles.
And if you guys want to know how that awesome groundbreaking technology works, just go to our website at thetruebarrymoreshow.com.
It's all smoke and mirrors. The world is a stage, people. Get over it. You've been lied to. Now, I know a lot of you gonna say, well, Terry, if it was a hologram, how was he walking around passing out hats and talking to people? Because he was walking around passing out hats and talking to people. Only the assassination was a hologram. Here's what you're forgetting. You're forgetting about the trap door right by his feet underneath that little canopy there.
Boss, this is the place he got shot.
This is the courtyard where it all happened. It's now open to the public again. There's lots of people coming here, placing flowers, cards, things like that. The university is already making some changes. They're replacing the grass where Charlie Kirk was speaking with pavers. And there are several petitions online asking the school to make this into a permanent memorial for Charlie Kirk.
You see, the trap door is the whole key. Yes, Charlie was passing out hats. Yes, Charlie was there. But when it was time for the hologram to come on, this is when Charlie went down into this little utility room or whatever this is underneath this trap door, the stage area where he was sitting. Okay, the assassination took place with the hologram. And then if you notice, all the guys, when he supposedly falls to the ground, all the security guys surround him. You can't see nothing. They raise the trap door up. And Charlie comes out. That's why they blur the videos so you can't see him come out. And then they pack him to the SUV. Not an ambulance, not anything like it would normally be, to the SUV without a trail of blood anywhere because he never got shot. He was down in there the whole time. The hologram part of the assassination was taking place. It's really, really simple. It's complicated, but it's simple if you think about it common sensely. That's how Charlie was able to interact with the people there because he could hear what they were saying and he could answer them and interact with them just like the musicians from London to Florida.
It's incredible that this really is a remote live gig. The signal from London takes less than 1/3 of a second to go all the way around the world and be projected as a hologram on the stage in the US. As well as the hologram making it feel like the band are actually in the room with the audience, the band can see the audience and actually interact and respond to what they're doing.
Now, I already know what you're going to say. All y'all non-believers going to say, well, if he was passing out hats and doing all that, how could he disappear and go underground into that trap door in basically the little maintenance area that goes underground, which means your ass can go under there. Very simple. You know what I'm saying? How'd he do that without anybody seeing him do it? Well, have you ever heard of an invisible cloak? Maybe that whole tent had an invisible cloak around it. Are you familiar with that? Probably not. Doesn't mean you stupid. Doesn't mean you dumb. Just means you illiterate to the technology. Now let me show you.
and see how does it work. It works straight away as soon as you take out a bag. You can see, you can make yourself invisible behind this clock very easily. Just use it. It's a little bit of windy right now and very hard to use it because it's flowing, but let's try again and see whether I can use it. Yeah, you can make yourself invisible. You can make yourself invisible.
Now you can get on here and make all the videos about me being a liar and giving you disinformation all you want to. But I showed you what I showed you. That's my theory. What's a theory? It's an idea. It's something that could happen. Doesn't mean it's a fact. It's just my theory, okay? So don't get on here and say I'm a liar. I'm giving you disinformation. I'm giving you what I believe because I understand the technology that we have, okay? All you're doing is showing the real shield that you truly are. That's all you're doing. You're showing that you a bot, a troll, a shield. That's all you're doing, making yourself look bad. And the only people that believe you is the dumb bots. What's a dumb bot? It means a human who halfway awake, but they will consider and believe whatever you tell them, whatever makes sense to them, because they don't understand technology. They don't understand what's going on. So they choose to believe one scenario, one theory. That's all that is. That's why you seen the chair morph through the table, because they was still in the hologram area. They hadn't shut it off yet. And they was doing this by remote. Now you could talk all that disinformation, lying, bullcrap all you want to, but I'm gonna stand behind my theory whether you like it or not. If you don't like it, don't watch it. And if you comment and make some stupid comments, I'm gonna delete you, I'm gonna block you. You know why? Because it's my channel. Get over it. Everyone, thanks for watching. Have a good night and God bless.